You need to be a bad person to get girls. In my freshman year of high school, I did everything the way that society wants you to, the right way. I went to class on time, I got great grades, I got high honors roll that first freshman year, and I just felt miserable. I was trying to be myself and do the things that I liked. I loved to be in the outdoors, I loved hiking, I loved when it would snow, I was kind of a geek for the weather. I remember getting made fun of heavily for that. And over time, my life just kind of kept getting worse and worse, and I felt like I was missing out on life as a whole. I had never talked to any girls, I barely had any friends, and I was quickly getting sick of this life and being this good kid, doing the things the way that society wants you, just go into school, and then I would go home, watch TV, and do the same thing over and over again, and I really quickly got sick of this. And I quickly realized that this is not how I wanted to live my life. I didn't want to just be another cog in the machine who went to college and just did the same thing as everyone else. As I started to see how that could play out if I just kept going down this path of just doing what everyone wants you to do and not doing the things that I wanted to do, or even trying, because I didn't have the courage to even go after the things that I wanted. So I really knew I needed to make a change in my life, and it didn't happen right away. It took me many years, and it took a lot of courage in order to make these shifts, but eventually it did come. But when I lived out the traits that society looks down on, everything changed. This past summer, I spent 5 months in Sweden, and it was genuinely the best time of my life. I did everything that I wanted to do unapologetically. I started a business all by myself that was making me over 10K a month. I would go out on the weekends every single weekend and party and sleep with the most beautiful girls. I would do anything that I wanted. I didn't follow a single societal rule. I never thought, well, is this something that is all right within society? I wouldn't even pay parking meters. Like, anything that I wanted to do, I would just do, and I didn't think of the repercussions. I just did whatever I wanted, and my life was never better. I would go jet skiing in the middle of the day. Of course, I would stick to my disciplines and do the things that are allowing me to be successful. But beyond that, if I wanted to do something, that is exactly what I would do, and I wouldn't think twice about it. And this was the all-time high. I was getting the most gorgeous girls in my life. I was living out my dream life, and this was genuinely the best time of my life. So there are 3 traits that you need to embody if you want to be irresistibly attractive to girls. And this first trait will impress girls so much that they'll be throwing themselves at you. 3 months before I went to Sweden and had this all-time high, I was at an all-time low. I had just failed 2 businesses that I tried back to back, and I had absolutely no money. I was actually in debt at that point, and at this point I saw an opportunity and I went for it. I took it. I didn't even ask anybody. Before this, I would always ask for my parents' permission if I could, go into this new thing or kind of just talk it through. But when I saw this opportunity, I just took it. I didn't talk to anybody. I just showed them the results. And what happened? Well, in 4 days, I put this business together. I worked nonstop from morning till night. And then within 10 days, I had my first sale, and it was $625 I made. I didn't spend a single dollar getting the company all put together. So it was pure profit. And at that point, I reinvested. And this went on to make me my first 8K. And then before I went to Sweden, I had a week that was 5K in profit. And this was all because I went after the things that I wanted to do. See, I knew after that freshman year in high school that things needed to change. And I decided I wasn't gonna go to college and be a cog in a machine like everyone else. So one of the things I was always trying to do was entrepreneurship, and it wasn't that easy. This was my first real big success. And at this point, it just felt so great doing exactly what I wanted to do, seeing something in my mind, not talking to anybody about it, just going after it unapologetically. So if you want to be irresistibly attractive to women, you need to be unapologetically independent. You need to go after whatever it is that you want in life. You can't be seeking permission from other people, approval. You just need to do whatever it is that you want to do, whether society deems it all right or not. If it feels right to you, if your intuition tells you to do it, that is exactly what you go for. My life has never been better since I stopped asking for permission. And anything that I wanted to do, I would just go and do, even if I had to do it completely by myself. Even if I had to veer off from the traditional path, like not going to college or going to the bars and clubs by myself when I had no one to go with me. These are all the things that have made my life so much better and allowed me to develop that unapologetic independence that girls find so attractive. So this is one of the first things that you need to develop if you want to be like a bad person in society's eyes. You are going to have so much more success with girls and with in life in general as a whole. You're just gonna be living a higher quality of life if you just do the things that you wanna do. Now, on top of independence, this next trait will make you stand out from every other lame guy and be someone that girls just wanna be with. This takes me back to a story from about 2 years ago when I was hanging out with this really fun girl. We would go out and party a lot. We would go to the clubs. And one of the times when we went out, I knew of this like motel, hotel kind of place that had it was like a really cool hangout area where they had a pool, a hot tub, they had like hammocks and canopy, like comfortable seating areas. They had a fireplace, they had some games that you could play. And instead of just going home after the club that night, I took us here. So at 2 a.m., we snuck into this hotel area. We chilled on the hammocks, we sat by the fireplace, we went in the pool, and we just had a really good time. And it was a lot more fun than just going to get some food after the club or just trying to go home. And it just brought some excitement into this. It made it more of an adventure, more a little bit like feeling dangerous. There was a lot more fun in this instead of just going home. See, there is something dangerously attractive about a guy who breaks the rules and is rebellious. This is not something a coward would do, and it causes a lot of drama and excitement and adventure that would not otherwise not be there. And I'm not telling you to go out and break any crazy rules and end up in jail or do anything to impress a girl, but something small like going into a hotel or a motel after the club and sneaking in there, making it a little bit exciting. And there's a bunch of other small things that you can do with girls that's just gonna cause so much like little drama, little excitement, and make you so much more fun instead of just being the same boring guy. And this is also going to be huge in terms of like if you're trying to win a girl over, instead of trying to bring her home to your house where she knows what's going to happen, you can try and do something more fun, and it just causes you to be this like larger than life character that's just so exciting, so fun. She wants to be with because she knows cool things are going to happen, and it's just one of the things that's going to add to your persona a bunch. So this is a huge thing. It's not even about just breaking the rules and being rebellious, but it's just about you and how you live as an individual. Back to the independent one, where it's like the more unapologetically independent you are and you do the things that you want to do, this is just going to make you so much more attractive. This kind of ties into that rule-breaking, rebellious aspect as well. Not only will this last trait help you get girls, but it's also going to keep them attracted to you. So to demonstrate this, let me take you back to when I was in Sweden. Let me give you a day in my life. When I would wake up at 9 a.m., I would immediately read, meditate, journal, ice bath, sauna, go to the gym. At that point, once I got back, I would start working on my business usually around 11 or 12 p.m. I would work from there till 8 p.m., occasionally having to work at 1 a.m. taking sales calls because people are in Eastern time or Pacific time, and I'm 6 hours ahead of Eastern time. So as you can imagine, I sometimes had to take calls late to get the sales, get the money up. And that's what I was focusing on during my days. Even on the weekends, I would still be doing a bunch of things, but now just hanging out with my boys, like jet skiing, tubing, hiking, rock climbing. The only time I would really make time to see girls is on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights, and I would either just be seeing them at the clubs or setting up a date, something along those lines. But besides that, 99% of the time, I was focusing on my mission and my purpose, doing my thing in life. And the thing is, I was genuinely a top 1% man in Sweden. And that is objectively a fact. I'm not even saying this to brag. In terms of my income, how I've developed myself in terms of my physique, my style, my physical appearance, my mindset, my beliefs, how I acted as a person and just behaved as a whole, my charisma, my communication, I was a 1% man, and it reflected it. I got with very, very gorgeous girls. I was dating them. They were attracted to me. And a lot of that is because I was very selfish and focusing on building my value as a man. And that's the thing that you really need to do, is you need to prioritize yourself above everyone else. Like if you get a girl, for example, and now all of a sudden all you're doing is spending all your time with her, just watching movies, doing whatever she wants to do, she's quickly gonna lose attraction to you because it's not the things that you did in order to gain her attraction in the first place. You probably had to go to the gym and build an attractive body. You probably had to work on your business or do something to gain some financial status. If you lose all those things, or if you're not doing the things that make you attractive to her in the first place, you're gonna quickly lose her. So you need to be very selfish, always prioritizing yourself. And then also, when you do get to see each other, it's so much better when there is that separation. You actually excited to see the other person. So it's like that's one of the things that you need to work on, is really prioritizing yourself above others, and it's gonna make you irresistibly attractive to girls. And that's all for this video. So if you got any value out of this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. On here, I'll be teaching you how to become attractive to girls. So if that sounds of interest, go and hit and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.